been broken, although I'm not worthy. You fixed me, now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
One time for the Lord, and one time for the cause, and one round of applause.
Hi everyone, my name is Ufuoma Michelle Ziregbe, and again, this is day 3 of our Journey to an Expected End promo. And if you want information about the book sale that's going on, just look in the description box below and it's going to have all the information that you need. Let's get straight to it. So today we are talking about temptation. Yeah, we're talking about temptation. And I'm going to read a clip from the book, a little snippet. So it says, God will create ways out for us when we find ourselves in tricky or even scandalous situations. Having a way to get out is just half the battle. We have to decide we will take it. We will choose the way out or risk everything. Will we choose the way out rather, or risk everything staying in that bad situation? I once found myself outside a party I had no business attending. God had delivered me from it a while back, but I was curious. What would it feel like to go back into the scene? Will I enjoy myself? Maybe I can just sit in there and observe. Before you shoot me for talking about parties, just listen. Listen for a second. Okay, so now, when I was in my college days, let's be real, I was at every party. All the African parties, I was there. And I enjoyed parties. It was a way for me to exercise in my way, to let loose the stress of college and everything. This was something that I enjoyed to do. Now, I came to a stage in my life where I understood that the Lord was trying to take me to a different area. You know, there's milk of the word and then there's meat. There are certain instructions that God will give to you that he might not have given to the next person, because why? You are an individual and God knows you, and he knows your weaknesses, and he knows your temptation, and he knows how these situations affect you. So he's tailoring the instruction to you. Now, I got to this place and I began to ask God, because I started to feel some kind of way. Up until that point, I was okay. And then I started feeling some kind of way when I went to the parties. I'm like, okay, I'm here, but I'm not really here. I feel like maybe I shouldn't even really be here. So I started praying and asking the Lord, okay, so why am I feeling like this? Should I even go to these parties? What is going on? And I had a dream. And I can never forget this dream. So I was standing in line, and it looked like judgment, basically. So the judge was sitting at his table with his little, I don't know what it's called, but the little thing that they hit. And I was in line and I was looking, and it was about to be my turn. I was like, yeah, I'm not about to do all that. So I walked to the back. I was like, no, you can go in front of me. You can go, And they were like, okay, thank you. And they went. And it got to the point where it was just me. I was the last one. So I couldn't tell anyone else to go in front of me. So I'm like, okay, I have to hear what he has to say. And when I get there, he says, you've been wondering whether to go to these parties or not. Don't go. I was like, how do you know that? And then he just hit the thing, and I opened my eyes and he wasn't there anymore, and I woke up like, yeah. So I can't deny that the Lord has spoken to me, and he has shown me this so clearly not to go there. But why? Why would you try to take something away that I love? I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not going there with bad motives or bad intentions. And one thing that he was trying to show me is this. When I went into these scenarios, when I went into these parties and into these places, what it was doing is that it was planting seeds in my mind. It was planting seeds, and no one ever plants a seed and doesn't hope that it's going to produce fruit. No one ever plants a seed and doesn't hope that it's going to bring a harvest. The seed wasn't meant to stay a seed. It's meant to grow. It's meant to produce fruit. It's meant to show you what it's about. It's meant to produce a harvest. And now what God was showing me, that when I was in these scenes, when I was in these places, I was basically putting myself in a place of temptation. I was hearing these songs that were making me move my body in a certain kind of way. Maybe I thought it wasn't affecting me, but what about the next person? What about the person next to me? I'm supposed to be my brother's keeper, but I'm over here trying to make them fall. I'm over here trying to make them stumble, and vice versa. The same thing was happening with these people. So it made me to act in a way that was not Christ-like. It was making me to, these things were coming out of me, these emotions, these urges, this temptation, this lust, all these different feelings and emotions were coming out, and the Lord was like, this is why. This is the root of the problem. This is an issue. So if you keep putting yourself out there in these situations of temptation, don't be afraid, because it's not necessarily about the temptation, but if you fall into it, temptation is just a pathway, because some people are tempted, but they don't go all the way. But why put yourself in a situation that's going to lead you to stumble? Why make it harder than it already is? Because some of the things God tells you don't do, you're like, Lord, okay. We don't always love all the things that God loves. So he was trying to show me that you have to let this go. But I found myself outside this party years after, and I wanted to go in. There's still something inside of me that wanted to go back to that place, even though I knew at the back of my mind what it did to me, what it does to me. I was like, okay, but I'm with my friends. How am I going to tell them that I can't go in? And it was a long story, a very crazy night. But if you want to find out what happened, you're going to have to read the book, because if I start talking, we're not going to leave here today. So again, we're talking about temptation today. And I want to encourage you out there that if you're going through temptation, if you're going through whatever it is, if you're falling short in an area, that you ask the Lord, Lord, show me what it is that triggers this. Show me whatever seed has been planted in my heart, knowingly and unknowingly, so that I can correct the error of my ways. Show me how to overcome these things. But this is what we must understand, because I knew that these parties were bad for me. Even after I had the dream, I'll be honest with you, I still went out. I went out and I had a good time. At least I thought I was having a good time, but something inside of me, it was hurting, because I was like, I am letting God down, because he's giving me an instruction. And he says that if you love me, you obey my commandments. Why? Because my commandments are not to punish you. It's to make you better. It's to draw you closer to me. And we want to talk about the sins that are obvious. But look, the Bible says if you know what to do and you don't do it, that's sin. So God's showing me, don't do this, and I'm still going in that place, rightfully disobeying him. That's sin. So I want to encourage you out there, ask the Lord to show you. When he shows you, that's the first step. Now we have a choice to make. The Lord can show you this is what you need to do, but you have to make the decision for yourself that I am going to walk down this narrow path, even if people don't understand. I lost friends. I lost people. They thought I was trying to be holier than thou. I was trying to be, okay, you think you too righteous, boo-boo. But I'm like, you don't understand. On Judgment Day, I'm the one that's going to have to answer, not you. It's between me and my God. But there is no temptation that will ever come to you that God cannot deliver you out of. There is no situation that you can find yourself in that the love and the grace and the mercy of God cannot surround, cannot overwhelm. So I want you to commit that thing into God's hand. Even if you feel like you're not really struggling with anything, just ask the Lord, anything that might be planted in my heart that is not planted by you, show me how to come out of it. Show me what triggers these things. And the Lord will show you, and he will give you the strength to overcome any temptation that you're facing. Be encouraged.